Hey guys, welcome to the J Hood Comics channel. Could this sale be too good to be true? $5 comic packs, 10 books per pack for some pretty spicy comics. We'll get to it right after this. Hey, I stopped that short accidentally. That's all right. We'll get right to it. How you doing today, boys and girls? That was weird. I'm out of practice. So it's not often that I talk about local LCSs by name. We've got a few of them here in the northern Indiana area that are pretty good outfits, and I try and stay as loyal as possible to the ones I like the most. And usually that means the ones that either treat me the best or give me the best deals or just do something kind of fun that's appreciated. And there's nothing I like more than just going for a day and flipping through comic books. The lower the barrier to entry, the better. As far as I'm all about hotel shows, where dealers just bring their wares in and we get to walk in for free or maybe a couple bucks at most and just see what they have. Might not be going to look for anything specific, just seeing what they have and see what speaks to us, and we bring it back home. And the whole hunting process, I think that's one of the things that has kind of brought me to YouTube, to the community, just to share our stories of how we're getting what we have. So I'm going to share a screen here. And so this is the name of this LCS is Tom's Vintage Toys. And it's a relatively small shop. The building he's in, it used to be a pizzeria, actually. But you can see on screen there that he deals in some pretty premium vintage toys. If you're in need of, Castle Grayskull, obviously the Shogun Warriors. I had that Mazinga. I had, I think my brother had Godzilla when we were kids. Those are it's the type of stuff that I want to kind of go out and bring back in my life. But I'm gonna stay in my lane with just the comics. Coach Vic, thanks for joining me, man. I didn't even give you a heads up, and here you are. You must have your alarm set. So let's flip through another post here on the Tom's Vintage Toys Facebook page. There you go. There, look, happy customer. This was the day of the sale. People at the sale. So it was held outside. Started at 9 a.m. And they were taking this picture as I was walking up. So all along the building there are long boxes of comics, and they're $5 packs. And I'm going to show you the advertisement he used. Okay, so here was his advertising post. So look at this. So he's saying for $5, you get 10 comics. And obviously what you see here kind of exposed is the cover book. That's what's drawing you to that particular pack. So we've got things like Silver Age Spidey. We've got the classic Hulk and Submariner Tales to Astonish cover. That Secret Wars is at number 10. That's nothing to sneeze at these days. Some X-Men, some G.I. Joe. But look, that's not all. So the next page, we've got Origin of Captain America, some got the Judas Contract Part 3 up there. I didn't even notice this. If you look about halfway down, about a third of the way over, that Adam and Hawkman. That's a book that I just love that cover, and that's something I've been looking for. I didn't even notice that he had put that on here. Here we go again. That Fantastic Four up there in the corner. Silver Age X-Men. Silver Age Batman. Bronze Age Horde. DC The Witching Hour. Got some Neil Adams Spectre in there. Kirby Fantastic Four Annual. Look at this one. Up in the upper right-hand corner. The first Superman Flash race for $5. You kidding me? Okay, and then let's see. Where are we going? There was one more here that was super spicy. Where's this one right here? What do we see right up on Front Street right there? Amazing Spider-Man 122. So this is the death of the Green Goblin, the issue after the death of Gwen Stacy. So, I mean, if there's nothing else on this table, that's what was going to draw me out there that day. So that gives you an idea of like what the bait was, what he was doing to get people to his event. Now, I had to think, okay, am I going to be that guy that gets up at 8:00 when the sale starts at 9 and hope that that's early enough to get me first thing in line? To be honest, I have to say I'm trying to save for a bigger book, and I didn't want to go and spend money. And it wasn't until about 8:30 that morning that I was laying in bed. I'm like, man, if I don't get up and go to this sale, I'm just cheating myself. There's going to be something there that I'll want for $5. Even if I don't find any of those big books, I'm sure there's going to be something that I'm going to walk away with. And if nothing else, I get to go and flip through a bunch of cool comics. So I got there and I told myself, okay, I'll buy 4. I'll spend $20, and then start flipping through and start finding some pretty cool stuff. Then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'll spend $30. And then by the time I was done, I got my $30 worth. My pal John Thompson's there. John Thompson is a big comic book collector in our area and also is a reseller and also sells toys and stuff. So he's a collector / dealer, and he was there. So I walk up to pay for my stuff, but he had taken up bags of stuff and a stack of comics like this big. And so I decided, well, I'm not just going to stand here and wait for him to check out. I'm going to go back and look for more. And I found more. So I spent $45. I got 9 packs. I was like, maybe I'll find one more. And I was just like, nah, I didn't want to spend that much. Just stop. Just take what you found and go pay. So I was on Biggie Check's channel the other night, and I kind of did a little preview of some of this. So I appreciate Biggie having me on. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a whole stream about this, but I had to share it by Wares with World. And Coach Vic in the audience here, he's coming over tomorrow. And I'm to the point in my collection right now where I'm not looking for volume. And one of the things I was kind of holding back on this whole sale was, if I find one book, I'm going to also bring home 10 that I don't necessarily want. I don't need to take up more space. So I wanted to go through everything first and give him a crack at anything that I definitely don't want, and he can just have it. I don't care. It's paid for. So I'm just going to flip through. So when I was on Biggie's the other night, I opened 3 packs and kind of showed the reason why I bought the others. But here I've pre-opened everything. So I'll flip through the ones that I opened on Biggie's channel the other night first. And so I'll show you I'll play it by ear. Am I going to show you the good thing that was on the front or the bad thing that was on the back? So this is, I think, the first one that I picked up. Fantasy Masterpieces number 11, The Origin of Toro from out of the Fabulous 40. So what this is, it's going to be reprints of mainly probably Golden Age Marvel material. Well, there you go, right at the top, from Golden Age of Marvel. So it's going to be Marvel reprints. But what struck me was just, I know these kind of annual, silver-aged annual reprint books are somewhat collectible these days. This one had a great-looking spine. I know from experience trying to collect a few of the Fantastic Four annuals that spine splits are terrible. But that one looked pretty good. So what else did I get? This was showing on the other side. To be honest, I might have either still have this in my collection somewhere or had it at some point. Books like A Freak Force, number 10 by Eric Larson. This was an interesting pack. A sealed Robin 2 limited series. This is the collector's set. So in this you get the direct market variant, the newsstand variant, and an exclusive hologram trading card. So got the one cover on the one side, the other cover on the other side, and then there we go, the hologram card of, hey, that's so interesting. It's the bat symbol. Yay. But I'm sure I bought this back in the day. I probably held off and didn't buy the collector pack. I probably just bought this cover. This was the direct cover because it's got the hologram right on the cover. Got a Bronze Age issue, a Copper Age issue, I guess, 75 cents of Firestorm. Who did the art in this? Ross Andrews, not bad. So a book like this might, I was going to say I might put it on my spinner rack. Honestly, I'm not terribly interested in it, and it's 75 cents. It's later than most of the stuff on my spinner rack. Gemini. Looks interesting enough. I'll give that a look. Casanova number 5. I'm sure I've already got a copy of that in my collection. Stuff like this I need to check on. Iron Man number 260 from Armor Wars 2. An issue of West Coast Avengers. And X Factor number 2. I guarantee you I've got a copy of that one. So that's the first pack. Next pack. We'll get right to it. This one was interesting. I'll show off the top what you see in the pack. So I bought it for this cover, a cool Aquaman. Of course, for $5, these books can be in any condition. You can kind of see it's got a pretty ratty spine. But what convinced me was on this side, a 10-cent Dell Lone Ranger, which I'm not going to be a Lone Ranger fan, but there's a Golden Age comic book that came along with a Silver Age Aquaman. And, well, I was going to say, it looks like it's in excellent condition, the cover detached. But look how crispy it looks. So there's a solid, was it a 4.0 if cover is completely detached? And it is. White pages, super white pages. From 1952. There you go. Of course, it's Golden Age, so it's bigger than everything else. So we got Aquaman. What else did we get in here? We got a it's like an Ariel Olivetti cover for Legends of the Dark Knight Batman. Batman versus, looks like it could be not Captain Cold, Mr. Freeze. Is it Mr. Freeze? Yeah, I think so. I'm getting old. I can't remember things like this. Sleepy Reader. Thanks for joining me, man. So I'm just flipping through books that I got. The deal was, if you missed the intro, $10 and $5, 10 books. You got to see what was on the front and back of these packs. And in the middle were things like this. Or Doom 2099. Am I surprised by what I see, as the filler books in these things? Not at all. This is exactly the kind of stuff I expected to find. Just kind of fillers, something rather charming like this every now and then, worth keeping. Cool Dr. Doom cover. Battle World Marvel Zombies. Another issue of X Factor, number 33. Cool Walt Simonson cover of the Beast. Can't bear that price, right, man? So like I said, I walked away with 9 packs at $5 each. So in this case, I'm gonna hide the good book. This was on the other side, which is not a terrible book, right? I mean, it's a Fantastic Four reprint, probably Kirby work, with the cool Evel Knievel ad on the back. Okay, so I'm going to hide the money book there. Oh, can't beat the price. There you go. What is it with my camera? I was focusing on the covers. There we go. So we've got a Weapon Zero from Image, an X-Men 2099. You know what it is? It's those busy Teen Titans covers in the background are confusing my camera. I might keep this one. Stuart Eminem drawn issue of Superman. Of course, from the Superman Blue, Superman Red era. The Trinity of Sin, Pandora, one of DC's throwaway event characters, Pandora. Remember when they introduced her a couple years ago? An issue of Captain Atom, relatively early issue, number 6. Pat Broderick on the art of this. I actually got to color a few issues worth of Pat Broderick art several years ago. Spider-Man number 49. Wolverine with a leader. And one of my brother-in-law's favorite characters. I had him collecting comics back in the 90s, and he was a big fan. He was collecting all the Nomads. And the money book, so to speak, first appearance of Clarion the Witch Boy in the Demon number 7. Got a few spine ticks on it, but other than that, nothing to sneeze at. I'll take that for $5. Sleepy Reader said that he actually enjoyed the Trinity of Sin. That's cool. With all the events that the big two are doing, it's hard to, unless you're diving in and trying it out, you just don't know what's going to be good or what's going to be bad. I always just fear the worst. Okay, so this is, I pre-opened the pack. So this one is Adventure Comics 368. I'm a Legion of Superheroes fan and Neil Adams fan. And I always love when the two things, any of the really strong Legion members like Ultra Boy and Superboy are sharing the cover, and then whenever the girls are beating the guys up, I love that too. John's Comics with Kids, thanks for joining me, man. I'll be on John's channel on Tuesday night to go over X-Men 175. Mostly a good bet to avoid the events. Yeah, sadly so. So, John, I've gone through 3 of the packs that I picked up. I picked up 9 of them, $5 each. The last pack had first appearance of Clarion the Witch Boy. And so this one had the Adventure Comics. What else has this got? We've got an issue of Manhunter. We've got book 2 of Robin 3000 by P. Craig Russell. Flash Gordon. About to get it in the neck. Impact Comics, The Fly. Yeah, so be sure to go back and watch the rewind of the first few minutes just to see the comics this guy was baiting us in with. There were some big time books that he was offering in these $5 packs. This one's probably a keeper for me. 35-cent Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Got an issue of Atari Force number 9. I'll probably keep that. Spider-Man Saga. Steve Lytle drawing in the way of Steve Ditko. This is an issue 1. Beginning of 4-issue pictorial illustration. Pictorial history of the world's greatest non-mutant superhero. I thought this was just going to be like a compacted reprint, but no, that's too many words. Too many words in my comics. All right, and then the back cover is kind of a cool cover. Detective Comics. Dixon Johnson is named as the artist. Johnson who? Staz Johnson. Staz Johnson art on the interior of that. It's definitely not a title I would have collected, but seeing it, I'm like, yeah, heck, I've got to believe it. Okay, next we've got on the one side, first issue special featuring the Creeper, and the reason I bought it was this issue of the Justice League that featured the Justice League, Justice Society, and Legion of Superheroes. My childhood criteria for comic books: as many superheroes as you could squeeze between the covers, and this would have, gotten my attention. I'll put it that way. So we've got, like I said, the Creeper. We've got New Avengers by Bendis and Billy Tan. Dark Dominion by Defiant Comics. Well, I was just looking at this today. I put up my New Teen Titans up on the background here, and noticed this particular cover I had, it's got a crease up here, so I think I'll upgrade it with this copy. This has got a little bit of some kind of stain going on right there. Not sure what that is. Looks like milk. Somebody spilled their milk on it. I don't know. But overall, I think it's better than the one I had. Union by Mark Teixeira, not to be confused with Mark Teixeira, the baseball player. Suicide Squad number 3, featuring the Female Furies. We got the X-Men 12. So this would have been the next issue after Jim Lee left, and what a spectacular replacement Art T-Bear was for a couple issues. Another Spider-Man. Oh, this is cool. Not my favorite heroes, but I love all these giants. Tarzan family and Korak. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of Joe Kubert artwork to going on in there. He's on the cover there for sure. And then, the giant Justice League of America. Issue 148. It's got the cool sneaker ad on the back. I threw that up like minutes before going on Biggie the other night, and then just now I did the top row. I kind of cheated. All right, next one. On one side was a Gold Key Tarzan, but the reason I bought it, and if you've been watching from the beginning, Victor, I mentioned that there was one book that was shown there that I didn't even pick up on, but I did manage to find it in the boxes. This is one of the covers that's just a total cover buy for me, but it's a cover that has attracted my attention so much I've been looking at it on eBay just to buy just a decent copy at a reasonable price, and you can't get much more reasonable than $5. Condition matters only slightly, and this one is perfectly fine for the perfect purpose I need it to fulfill. Just a really cool Joe Kubert cover. I don't know why I like it so much. It qualifies for the purple cover category in categories. We've got some, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Gil Kane inside. No, Dick Dillon. But cool. I was glad that I was able to come across that. They had a ton of other Hawkman covers that I almost got, and I put them back when I found the one I wanted. So we also got a Doctor Strange number 23. Cool Jackson Geisy cover there. Got Adi Granoff Iron Man. Another George R.R. Martin book, Clash of Kings. Another Doom 2099. Stanley Kubert. Yeah, I think you're getting some things mixed up there, Victor. Mastodon. Thanks for joining me. There it is. There you go. Thanks for joining, man. Got a Action Comics. I might actually have this one. I think I was collecting it during this era. Yeah, here's the thing. I think this is a Patrick Gleason cover, and an artist named Kano did the interiors. And Kano was not as good as Patrick Gleason. Got a Shadow Man number 8. Oh, I got a key. Secret Wars 2 number 1. The John Byrne cover. Is this the first full appearance of the Beyonder in here? I think it may be. Don't hold me to it, but I'm betting. Maybe it's a cameo. Is he going to show up by the last page? I don't know. If he's here, he's in disguise. I'll have to check it out again later. I had this book years and years ago, I'm sure, and I'm not really thrilled to have it back. But there you go. Another issue of X Factor. John says I'm correct on the Beyondy. Is that the Beyonder's brother? The shadow always creeped me out on the cover. That shadow, which one? Oh, the Beyonder shadow. Who is the Beyonder? And then, of course, we got the book that was on the backside, The Tarzan of the Apes. It had the book I really wanted on the other side, but to get something like this, showing on the opposite side. So one of the things with this deal was in a lot of the cases, the books that were showing had some amount of appeal to them, whether they be a popular character, a popular artist. Silver Age books were all over the place. But there were some that were just like a Savage Dragon on one side, and on the other side it'd be an Action Comics, whatever. And so I was just wondering, okay, is he sneaking in something cool in the ones that show no appeal whatsoever, and I was not brave enough to try to find any. All right, so this pack, the book I bought it for was this one, another just cool Joe Kubert, Adam and Hawkman cover. One of the few others that I wanted to get along with the one that I showed earlier. Yeah, man. Early on, let me show you the other kind of back cover, or so you saw the book on the one side, and that was kind of the most appealing one. Then he'd show you the book on the back side. In the first set I got, was it this one? Or was it? What was it? Anyway, in one of the sets I showed already, this was the book that was on the backside, and I don't want to say the running gag or the gimmick of this whole thing is you don't know what the condition is, but look at the condition of this, and I was like, this is an awesome looking book. And then as soon as I flipped it open, cover's totally detached. It's a great looking book with a totally detached cover. Not even any tape on it. Just completely torn off the cover. C'est la vie for $5. Matthew Poe, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, so you do the math on these, and I'm bad at math, so help me out. But 10 books, $5, 50 cents a book, and 50 cents well spent on Renegade Press's Eternity Smith. Is this a key? Is this a key? Is this the first appearance of anybody? I don't know. This pack also had Weapon X #2 from the Age of Apocalypse. In my memory, Age of Apocalypse might be the second most memorable X-Men storyline after the Dark Phoenix saga. Just like, if, gun to my head, somebody says, name the top 2 storylines, it's Dark Phoenix saga and Age of Apocalypse. Star Slayer #29. That doesn't even look like Mike Grell is still drawing it at that point. First appearance of the Metropolis Kid, Superboy, after the death of Superman. Cool Brian Stelfreeze cover of Shadow the Bat. I'm sure I've got that in my collection. Linda Medley's Castle Waiting, with a very timely bride there, it looks like. And then we've got another issue of Spider-Man #47. And on the back, the last book they were showing was this one, another one that I found some amount of appeal in. It's not the greatest condition, but I don't have any Black Lightning in my collection. I'm hoping it was drawn by Trevor Von Eden. And it was. Trevor Von Eden, one of the, I would say, most underrated or most unknown of the African-American artists that has worked in comics, especially in the Bronze Age. All right, got 2 more packs. So this is the clunker cover that was on the back. John doesn't think so. I don't doubt that. John and I agree on so little. Mastodon's a huge fan of Age of Apocalypse, though. Big part of his childhood, yep. It's one of those things where they had to do something big, and they pulled it off. Okay, so going backwards, we had that. Oh my! I needed another copy of this after the one I ruined. Talked about this on Biggies the other night too. This will replace the copy that I poured blood on. It's got a little tear there, but that's okay. It's just a reader copy. Now I won't have to actually touch the one that I had Rob Liefeld sign. Okay. Or maybe I could cut out the trading card. I wonder what the street value is. If I set this in for grading, cut out the cards and got them graded, I wonder if I could get a 10.0 if I got the trading cards graded. Blackest Night, Outsiders. John says, I like Age of Apocalypse. So just that issues. Oh, that particular one wasn't key, but no, by no means. Sleeper Reader. I remember Von Eden all the way back to Black Lightning. Yep. I first picked up on the name in the Thriller miniseries. He was an artist on Green Arrow's first solo series. Yeah, I think he also did a run with Black Canary too. Yeah. Craig 69 is not here. Okay, well noted. Okay, so what? Okay, if you had to pick other storylines, what would they be? I'm not saying it was necessarily the best. I'm just saying memorable. Yeah, it was very distinctive, almost like a precursor to what kind of where Frank Miller would go with his art. All right, we're halfway through this little second to the last pack I've got here. So we got an issue of Rebels. Pretty cool looking cover there. Got a copy of Excalibur. I think this was in the run where they concentrated on Professor X and Magneto on the island of the Mutant Island, or not the island, the country. What was it called? It's not popping up here. Oh, John will know, probably. Let's see here. Matthew Poe. Are you going to release any new Star Wars or Star Trek model kit information at Wonderfest 2003 in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky? Make sure to talk to Bill George about the USS Reliant. I have talked to Bill George about the USS Reliant. Will we have any news? Yes, a little bit. Nothing groundbreaking, and we will probably disappoint a lot of people with what we don't have to show or talk about. I don't see him either. Marauders Massacre and Days of Future Past, Extinction Agenda, House and Powers. House and Powers is the most memorable storyline they've done probably in the last 20 years. Extinction Agenda, for me, was huge, and the biggest letdown about Extinction Agenda was the fact that it all imploded like right after that, where they had Rob on X-Force, they had Jim Lee on X-Men, they had Will Spertatio on X-Men, they had Larry Stroman on X-Factor, and they were going great guns, and then everybody left for Image, and then it was like, let's bring in all these B stringers to fill in on the art. And yeah, that was the storyline that kind of brought everyone back together. Like everybody was off doing their own thing, and it brought everyone back together. Days of Future Past, yeah, that was definitely a great storyline. Marauders, the Mutant Massacre. As a longtime X-Men fan, I'm not a huge fan of that one. And the Wolverine and Sabretooth battle in that was great, but that's really the most memorable part for me. Genosha, that's it. That was the name of the country where they had populated it with mutants. I don't remember who was doing the X Factor issues in that, but I don't doubt it. Well, so after that, after Extinction Agenda was the whole thing to tie up the whole Strife identity storyline. I remember like Jay Lee coming on to do some of that, and I can't remember who else. But Jay Lee he was good, but he just seemed so out of place. Anyway, getting back to this haul, the end Wolverine. I don't have that, and I don't know if I'll need it. This looks cool. Some Scott McDaniel art on Green Arrow featuring Batman. I'll probably keep that one around. I'm trying to see if I recognize the name of the artist, because this art, for being obviously very 90s, is I can't recognize it, but the Ebony Warrior looks kind of intriguing. And who can forget Robert Townsend in The Meteor Man? I to be honest, I had forgotten until just now. Hey, Jim. Good to see you. Executioner Song, that was it. So the last two books in this second to last pack, an issue of 52. And then the reason I bought the pack was this very nice looking issue of Adventure Comics number 365. Just a super clean copy. And I thought the cover looked memorable, that it might be the first appearance of Shadowlass, but that's not the case. She's obviously a very apparent part of it, but to be, the art in these adventure comics is really hit or miss, and this actually looks like a really well done issue that I do look forward to going back and checking out and reading. The condition of this is just great for being. See, what year did this come out? 1968. It's 2 years older than I am. It's got less wrinkles than I do. All right, last pack. This was the clunker on the backside, Angela number 3. The reason I bought it was this fairly nice looking issue of Daredevil 254. If you know your Daredevil, you know this is the first appearance of Typhoid Mary. I've got a copy of it, but it's in not the greatest of conditions, so this is an upgrade for me. And even this one is not necessarily perfect, but it will do nicely. There it goes. There's the focus. Got a couple spine ticks on there, but nothing major. All the edges are clean. Corners are sharp. Home run. But I had to also bring home this issue of Harbinger. We've got Regulators. Spotlight on Blackjack. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, well, I think it's one of those that kind of goes under the radar. Matthew Poe, loving the Jim Small build-ups on our box art. She wrote on both. Yeah, she was a writer on X Factor for sure during that era. Got an issue of Demon. We have a Millennium tie-in from week 4 of Millennium Suicide Squad, number 9. Looks like a pretty decent issue. Fury of the Firestorm, number 23. Cool looking cover. We've got a cover that John Byrne just mailed this one in. I mean, from a distance, airballed it. It's a brick. One of the worst John Byrne drawings I've ever seen. Look at that foot. What's up with that foot? Love the guy. Captain America 10, Buried Alive. This is a run that I collect. I might actually have this one, but I hope I don't. I hope this is new to me. I also collect this run. I've got all these though also, but this run of Cable that features the art of a Spanish artist named Jose Ladron. I've heard it pronounced Ladron. To me, it's Ladron because I'm American and I only can speak the way it's written. But he's got a really cool kind of crossover style of Kirby and Jean-Claude Mobius, from the French artist, sci-fi artist. He's got a real even mix of both men in his art. I mean, you can really see the Kirby coming through in these. Sorry about my camera. It's the busy background, I'm sure. And then issue 3 of Angela, which I'm sure I've already got, and probably I've got it in my sale pile, but oh well. Some cool early Greg Capullo work. There you go. So here's the size of the stack. I'll attempt to lift the whole thing. $45 books. No, 90 books. 90 books, $45. And I'll probably keep 10. So Victor, I hope you like them. If you don't, they're just going to go right into my get rid of boxes, of which I have 6. So anybody looking for, that spare issue of anybody need the Regulators #1, that if that's hot on your to pick up list for 2023, I might know a guy. Need that issue of Harbinger #18. I'll sell it to you for $20, or I might pay you to take it from me just so I can get out of my way. Regulators, let it ride. Let's ride. All right, so that's pretty much all I had. I wanted just to take a minute to shout out Tom's Vintage Toys for putting on just a fun morning. When I got there that morning, I got there about 10 minutes after the sale started, and it was a mosh pit, like you had to squeeze in to get to a box. And within a half an hour, the vultures had like this scorched earth, like the locusts had come, and all that was left was just the chaff kind of left in their wake. Actually, to be honest, I left after about 45 minutes, and there were still some pretty nice books. Just like, if you're into just random Silver Age, especially DC Silver Age stuff, Superman, Batman, not Batman, but like Superman, Superboy, some Justice League. There were a few other Silver Age Marvels and stuff mixed in there. But I just bought what appealed to me. That's what it's all about. Just collect what you enjoy. I did not see any Milestone, but I would expect that some of the books that were squeezed into these packs might have been. Got any old Spider-Man that I don't want? Okay, so old to you, no. Old to the world, like 30-year-old Spider-Mans, yeah. But if you think 30 years ago was like the 90s, you don't want those. So yeah, I'll wrap this up. And thanks for joining me, everybody. Had a great turnout just for a random Sunday afternoon stream. I want to thank Jim Small for joining. Coach Vic's here, Mastodon John, Matthew Poe. Did I say you already? Did I say Mastodon already? I'm so old, I can't remember the names I said 2 seconds ago. But we'll wrap this one up. remember, keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time, guys. Next time, even. We'll see you.
Whenever there's a crime, who's always there to fight it? Whenever there's a wrong, who's always there to right it? When someone breaks the law, who do people holler for?